Hi everyone, this is my immigrant diary.
According to the 14th Amendment, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of that state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any persons of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. This is according to the Constitution of the United States as found on constitution.congress.gov.
Thank you so much for sharing, my brother. For those of us who are watching, if you're not aware, there's a huge battle going on in the United States now surrounding birthright citizenship. And there's a lot of controversies, there's a lot of push back and forth between the Trump administration and the opposition, which is primarily the Democrats. So for now, we want to share with you how Trump is thinking a little bit so we can sort of understand where it's coming from. I'm going to share the video, Precious.
Let me ask you about some of your other promises on this topic. You promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need to, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
Through executive action?
Well, if we can, through executive action. I was going to do it through executive action, but then we had to fix COVID first, to be honest with you. We have to end it.
So for everyone that's watching, if you want to check out the interview in details, it's right there online on NBC's YouTube channel. All in all, this is something Trump has been against for a very long time. And now that he's president again, if you remember at the end of the interview, he said he actually wanted to do it right before COVID. But when COVID came, he had to focus on COVID. So now that he's president again, he's going in, he really wants to end birthright citizenship. So in this second administration, he did actually live up to that promise. On his first day, he did put out an executive order to end birthright citizenship. But we are going to take a look at that. Let's actually read it so we understand exactly what it's talking about. I'm going to share my screen again. So this is the executive order, and they're titling it that it's protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship. So if I think about the title, we can understand why they want to do this. But let's go to the meat and bread of this whole executive order, which is in paragraph 4 right here. It says that among the categories of individuals born in the United States are not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So which means they're trying to say that the Constitution says if you are subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, then you are a citizen, right? But they are just arguing that no, that's not the case. So it goes in and talks about these people that doesn't fall under that category, which is, continuing from the next paragraph, says the privilege of United States citizenship does not automatically extend to persons born in the United States. The first category of people is when that person's mother was unlawfully present in the United States and the father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of said person's birth. Or the second category of people, when that person's mother's presence in the United States at the time of said person's birth was lawful but temporary, such as but not limited to visiting the United States under the auspices of the visa waiver program or visiting on a student, work, or tourist visa, and the father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of said person's birth. Before I actually read this, I thought it's designed for people who enter the United States illegally or they don't have any sort of lawful permanent residence here. But actually, they are targeting everyone, whether you're from Europe, Europe has a visa waiver program, or you're from Africa or from China or from any country that doesn't have like any visa program. They are arguing that you are not a United States citizen when you are born in the United States. That is, if I understand this correctly, if at least one of your parents is not a United States citizen, that means that you're not a United States citizen. So that's what the executive order says. But Precious, I'm sure you found some of the challenges that you're already facing, so I'll let you take that part.
I mean, that's what the executive order said, truly. Like, that's what he wants to do. But of course, he signed it on day one, and there's been a lot of backlash. There's been court rulings, there have been cases. And, on Washington's time, on their website, it says at least 10 cases have challenged this policy, this executive order. Because the question is, can executive order really end birthright citizenship? Can it supersede the Constitution? That's the question people are asking. That's the question in a lot of people's hearts. But we've read what the Constitution says, but we're also now saying that, Washington, like I said, it says 4 of those 10 cases, right? 4 have reached preliminary ruling and Trump lost. So Trump lost.
Yeah.
4 already have reached. And one of the judges said that this is blatantly unconstitutional. That's declared by Judge John C. He said he's the first to rule against Trump's executive order. There are still more cases being thrown at more people resisting this executive order to end birthright citizen. And same thing on that same publication, there's a part where some lawyers put out a statement that says most legal scholars who have examined the question, which is, can the executive order supersede the Constitution, say he is wrong. Even some who agree with him, there are people who agree with Trump, right? Say changing the policy of birthright citizenship would require an act of Congress, not a presidential order. Yet. And so that's what the Washington Post, but even there's an article in the archives, Office of the Federal Register, Article 5 from the Office of the Federal Registrar says that the Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendment to the Constitution. I'm not going to read all of what the article says, but it's saying that for Trump to change the birthright citizenship, it needs a 2/3 of the House, and there are a lot more requirements. That's just a part of it. There are a lot more requirements. We're going to put a link in the description. You can go and read it. There are a lot more requirements for Trump to change birthright citizenship.
Anything in the Constitution, actually.
Anything in the Constitution. So yes. But for Trump to change the Constitution, there's a lot of requirements. So that's why I would say that if you are in any of the category that were earlier mentioned by Wally, thinking about the way the presidency currently has put it out there, you didn't hear it from me. You already know where the Constitution stands. I think that at the moment, I think fear should be allayed about birthright citizenship. It's still valid. Any child born in the US is still a US citizen as of today. The executive order does not supersede the Constitution. And some of the cases, like we read, they already have a win. So birthright citizenship is still valid.
So this is the part that I also just want to add my own personal opinion. I thought about this a little bit, but what I'm thinking is that let's assume that Trump wins this case. What's to stop them from saying every other person that has acquired citizenship by being born here, they're going to revoke it? So there's just like an extreme way that you can view this thing that I don't see any way how this executive order is ever going to stand. But I thought about it a little bit, and I don't think that the goal of the executive order really, the goal, they want to try to see if it works, but the goal is not to win. The goal is to see how far they can take it. So that's just my own personal opinion. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I will say that I'm wrong. But all in all, our conclusion is that if you're born here, whether you are born yesterday, you are born today, you are born in the future, or you are a parent of a newborn baby and neither of you are US citizens, don't worry. The Constitution still protects you. Your child is going to be a US citizen. So that's what we were able to, research and come up with. So please like, share, subscribe. We do a lot of research to make sure that we get you the right information for this kinds of video, and we really appreciate it. Your like, your share, your subscribes, your comments will take our channel to the next level. Thank you.
All right, then have a good one, man.
Bye everyone.